What's up, trainers? How are y'all doing today? I know I'm doing fantastic, okay? This is the fit today. Hold up, let me get up. This is the fit today. Something slight. It's my pajama fit. It's from gatekeep.com if you want to look it up. But without further ado, let's get into what video we're watching today. Today we are watching Dean Withers. I hope I said his name right. And Emily Wilson. MAGA woman faces off as against young progressive. I like the way they worded that. MAGA woman faces off against young progressive man. By Jubal, we're gonna be doing reaction and just talking about everything. It's an hour long, like, production or like, quote unquote podcast. So we're gonna do this in parts. So we're gonna do this in every part that they have. So they have Donald Trump's mass deportation. That's one of the things. Democrats are the biggest, whatever. It didn't say anything after that, just the Democrats are the biggest. I'm sure there's more to that. We'll watch it. And Donald Trump wishes. And then we have Republicans are the most stuff. So whatever was on that title or whatever they were talking about. So without further ado, let's get into it. We're gonna cut into a good bit of it, but I more or less just want to let it play out and then I talk about it at the end. But there are probably going to be moments where I stop and I actually have to pause it and I have to be like, there's no way they said that. If you're seeing this first part, the next part's going to come out the next day. I usually post around 12 o'clock every day. So if you want to see my videos or if you like my content, just let me know. Please comment down below. Please subscribe and please watch this video way through. Please watch this video all the way through, even if you have to like put it on silent and like put it to the side, because it helps my watch time hours. But without further ado, let's get into the video.
Shut down our country. People lost everything because of that. How is that funny? What, people losing everything is hilarious?
Spare me the fake outrage. You responded to that by saying, "What's funny, Dean? People are dying." Moments after, in the last topic that we debated, okay, saying that this VA nurse deserved to get murdered by 12 shots in the back by a lawless ICE thug.
Welcome to Face Off, where two people debate four claims. One clock, no interruptions. Today, Dean Withers, a liberal political commentator and debater, faces off against Emily Wilson, a conservative media personality. The clock starts now.
My first claim is Donald Trump's mass deportation is anti-American.
I would say the most American thing would be protecting Americans. I don't see anything un-American about it. People are crying at ICE for doing their jobs. They're intervening with ICE doing their jobs. That's why they're getting shot and killed, rightfully so. I defend ICE doing their jobs. Both of those deaths of whatever their names were could have been...
I'm sorry. I know we're a minute and 5. She said, she said, people are dying by ICE agents, rightfully so. What? Rightfully? That people? I don't...
completely avoidable. Probably better off without him, regardless. And yeah, I mean, Obama was like, what, 3?
One, right? I know we're pausing a lot, but there's one. She's stating opinion. Like, you can't even hear the facts that she's trying to put in there. It's all opinion based. It's all opinion based. Like, if she has to think about it, it's strictly opinion based. Like, yes, I'm pretty sure they have papers where they have, like, you can write down, like, facts and stuff that you can bring to it or something like that. But, like, she's strictly stating opinion right now. Okay, but let me stop. I'm sorry. I don't want to keep pausing for the next, like, what? Next, like, 15 minutes. Let's...
One mass deportation. Donald Trump are not doing well. Probably like 890. I mean, Biden was up there, like 1.1, something like that. So it's just the hypocrisy of it all. It's like, if some people are against it, some people are for it. I want every single illegal out of the country, every single one, at any cost. And then other than that, I just think it's funny that when he does it, it's different. Kids in cages, all this stuff. I mean, they've all been doing it, so I just don't know why they care when Trump does it.
Well, there's actually a lot that you said there that I want to touch on, and I'm sure that we will during this topic. And it's funny because you actually brought up one of the main reasons why his mass deportation has been so anti-American within your first breath. You said there's nothing anti-American about protecting citizens, and then you brought up an example of ICE executing a citizen on the streets of this country. Of course, you went on to say that it was completely justified and that we're better off without them. Let's go ahead and focus in on one of the 3 citizens who has been murdered by ICE, and that will be Alex Preddy. So first, you made a very bold claim. A man lost his life, a mother lost his son, a father lost his son, a hospital lost one of their nurses, and I think the world lost a good man. And your takeaway is we're better off without them, and that the shooting's justified. So Emily, tell me, what is the legal standard that authorizes an LEO in engaging in the use of lethal force, ending the life of an American?
I don't know. Go ahead and tell me.
If you don't know the legal standard that justifies a shooting, then why the hell are you sitting here saying the shooting was justified?
The shooting is justified because we see who they are. All the information comes out of it. Oh, he was a loving, same with the woman that got shot. Oh, he was a loving son. First of all, everyone was worried about him. You see the text coming out, oh, we were worried about his mental health. He couldn't go to work anymore. He wasn't able to practice as a nurse. This whole thing of every time someone dies, the Democrats act like they're this amazing person. It's just not true. They even had to Photoshop the photo of him to make him seem normal so the public would react to him better. Why are you going to a protest? If people love you and care about you and you're a normal, productive citizen, you are not going to interfere with ICE protests, okay? Especially when they're getting death threats up like 5,000%, okay? Yes, you went in to stir up trouble. You're mentally ill. That's why you can't be at your job or with your friends anymore. Your family doesn't give a shit about you, or else you wouldn't be at an ICE protest because you're not a productive citizen. And other than that, when I see it, I'm like, it's justified. Guess what? If I thought someone was going to harm me or my life, I would choose me over them.
So to clarify, your claim is, I have no clue what the legal standard is that justifies an LEO to shoot and kill an American, but I think Alex Preddy was mentally ill, therefore I think it's okay. Right?
She's giving opinion after opinion after opinion. It's not facts. It's opinion after opinion after opinion. She's doing this thing where it's like, oh my god, let me calm down. All right, she's doing this thing where it's like, right, let me talk to you really quick, okay? Oh my gosh, I'm related to Peanuts, but Peanuts, blah, 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 blah. Like, she's pushing the narrative away, and she's trying to, like, force your opinion away from the actual information and question that he originally asked. And what I like that Dean is doing is that he's listening to the whole ramble, and he's going back to the question. Like, he's like, you didn't answer my question. She's already, like, I'm trying to go into this with an open mind, as much as one-sided I am, or I can be with these type of situations, but like it's strictly, well, oh, I don't want to keep pausing, but it's so bad.
No, I'm asking you, what is that's not what I do. What's the legal justification of it? Go ahead and please educate me and tell me, but I think it was justified, yes.
Well, don't worry, I'm watching the clock. I am going to tell you what that legal standard is eventually, but before I do, I just am trying to determine why you think it's okay a man's life was ended. So I asked you why you think it's justified, then you went on a 3-minute rant about how he's mentally ill and was at that protest when he shouldn't have been there. So to clarify, you think that his death was justified, his murder was justified, his execution was justified because he was mentally ill, he wasn't perfect like the Democrats say, CNN photoshopped his face, and he was at a nice protest, right?
I think it was justified because of his actions. That is why. Those are other things on top of it which led to this point, but yes, in my eyes, it is justified.
Perfect. What actions?
What actions? When you're going out of your way to go to ICE protests, harass them from doing their job, you're on camera. First of all, if you even look like you have he went with a gun, did he not? Did he not have a loaded gun?
Yes, he did have a gun on his holster, but you should know that in accordance with the Second, Fourth, and 14th Amendment, merely being in possession of a firearm does not authorize an LEO to literally shoot and kill you. So once again, I'll ask, what actions did he engage in that justified the shooting? You said he was harassing them. How was he harassing them that justified them literally killing him?
Okay, it's on video. You've seen the video and I've seen the video. That's what happened. You're going out of your way at a protest. He's been at many other protests. All these people are at every protest. They're known to harm people. They're harassing people, probably online talking about killing ICE agents. You're gonna go to a protest with a gun and a cop sees it as you're harassing these ICE officers that are getting threatened every day. Dude, it's not even a Republican thing, a Democrat thing. It is a common sense thing. It is a common sense thing. I would never, yes, CCWs, I understand. I would never bring a gun to any Trump rally, anti-Trump. That is just not, it's just not a smart thing to do. That's why you end up dead.
Okay, condemn Kyle Rittenhouse.
Kyle Rittenhouse? I don't. What? Condemn him? Okay, I condemn him. There. I don't know.
He brought an AR-15 to a protest, remember?
Yeah, that's insane. I think that's insane. I'm not supporting Kyle Rittenhouse. I think that's nuts.
So you think that the cops would have been justified in shooting Kyle dead?
Maybe. I don't know. If the actions were different, maybe. I think if you're going to go with an AR-15 and you get shot by a cop, I don't think it's that weird, whether you're Kyle Rittenhouse or whatever his name was.
Why just a maybe? I mean, this is your defense for Alex Preddy, so why is it was totally justified if it was Alex Preddy, but it's maybe justified if it was Kyle Rittenhouse? Basically, what I'd suggest you say in order to stand by your principle is, and I quote, Kyle Rittenhouse should have been shot and killed.
Well, I'm not going to say he should have. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe he was in a better situation, but also he probably wasn't threatening to kill ICE agents and cops. He was probably more supportive on their side. And also, did he kill people, right?
Okay, so you also just made another suggestion there, that Alex Preddy threatened to shoot and kill a cop. That's not true. What's your evidence for that?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying I don't know Kyle Rittenhouse situation. It was a big story. I don't care. I don't know what happened. Don't think he's a bad kid. I'm glad he's not dead. I don't think he should be out shooting people. I know it was self-defense. If it's self-defense, great. That guy, is he defending himself from the situation he put him in? Like, here's the thing. At the end of the day, that situation he's in is 100% avoidable. You can go into all the aspects of it. I don't care that happened to him. I think it was very stupid to be there. There's a reason it doesn't happen to me, because I wouldn't put myself in that situation, and neither would you either. It's a very stupid situation to be in. It's really not that complicated. Avoid dumb situations.
Wait, Emily, this doesn't make any sense, because earlier you said the world is literally better without Alex Preddy because he brought a gun to a protest. Now you're saying that you don't think that Kyle Rittenhouse is a quote-unquote bad kid, regardless of the fact that he brought a gun to a protest. So what it seems like is that bringing a gun to a protest is not the relevant factor here that leads you to the conclusion that Alex Preddy was terrible and we're better off without him, and Kyle Rittenhouse is not a bad kid, but rather political affiliation. And this is another point why I think that Donald Trump's mass deportation is so anti-American, because it's led Americans like you to think that the murder of your American brothers and sisters roaming free in the streets of this country is somehow justified simply because they disagree with you. And going back to ICE, why is it that you tell us you think every quote-unquote illegal should be deported because they broke a law and committed a federal misdemeanor, completely victimless by the way, but then when an ICE agent literally murders somebody, you don't care and you disregard it, then you come up with some quasi-justification for it when you self-admittedly do not know the legal standard that would make that shooting justified. Even going back to that legal standard, which I'll share with you now, you cannot kill somebody for merely being in possession of a firearm as an LEO, because as I previously suggested, the 2nd, 4th, and 14th Amendment, as well as previous SCOTUS case law like Connor v. Graham, which ruled that there has to be an objective reasonableness to an imminent threat upon the life of anybody within the immediate vicinity of somebody that LEOs are going to shoot and kill, and merely being in possession of a firearm isn't one. Even the NRA says this. 2 days after Alex Preddy got murdered, a U.S. attorney from California posted on Twitter that this is totally justified because, well, Alex Preddy brought a gun. The NRA responded by saying that that rhetoric is dangerous and wrong. So in other words, the NRA, who you likely have a membership for, says that your rhetoric is dangerous and wrong when you suggest that he could be shot and killed for merely being in possession of a firearm.
Okay, you know what? We're gonna keep pausing, okay? Because this whole, oh my gosh, it's like it's crazy. People have that, you know. Okay, what I really positive for was one thing that I want to say about Dean is he's very intellectual with the way he speaks, and a lot of the ways that he speaks, he talks in a different subject at the same time and puts a lot of facts into it. And I feel like she wasn't really listening to what he was saying, and she was more or less just taking bits and pieces. And then she's taking bits and pieces, and she's just going to use that as a way to push her argument forward. Like, she's not going to understand what he's saying and then take back the feedback and try to use it to debate with him. She's going to take what he's saying, take snippets of what he said, take it in, and be like, okay, he's wrong about this, and then push the narrative away from what he originally said. I promise you, it's going to happen.
I don't have a membership to the NRA. Thank you, though. No.
You see? You do see? Oh, my God. Oh my god. That's the first thing she did. She got her ego shot, and then she tried to bring her ego. She tried to rebuild her ego by sliding in that slick comment and then continue on with the conversation. Like, he's. Oh my god. Anyways.
I think situation and context matters, and that's the whole point of this. It's not a left versus right thing. Is if you are someone who is no longer working at your job, your family's worried about you, you're clearly brainwashed by the media, you're mentally ill, you're violent, you're going out there and harassing ICE agents, and you're getting these situations to be much worse than they already are, and you also have a gun with you, and you're at the point where you are like physically wrestling with ICE agents and you get shot, that is 100% an avoidable situation. You put yourself there, and I guess, yeah, some people will be like, it's sad, it shouldn't have happened. Okay, well, it did, so there's nothing we can do about it. But yeah, I think it's justified. I'm sorry.
I mean, the first 90% of what you said was baseless conjecture and reasonless rambling, okay? You just threw buzzwords out there. Mentally ill, his family didn't like him, quit his job. None of those things amount to an imminent threat upon the life of an LEO to justify them to shoot and kill you. Now, the reason why I only said 90 instead of 100 was the last thing that you said is he was wrestling with cops. Well, when I watched the video, what I saw was him positioning himself in between an officer and a woman. When that officer began to push that woman, he caught her. And then the officer maced him, put him to the ground. Next thing, he was being pistol whipped in the head by 1 while being dogpiled by 7. But at no point did I see a singular action in which would amount to justification for an officer-involved shooting, because even if he was obstructing, mere obstruction does not tell an LEO they could kill you, and even if he was resisting, mere resisting, or even resisting while being in possession of a loaded firearm, also doesn't amount to justification for an LEO to kill you. But I'd say from my perspective that he didn't do either of those two things, and the reason why we saw him wrestle to the ground wasn't because of his own doing, but rather because of the lawless actions of these masked ICE thugs.
Thugs. The people literally here to protect us from illegal aliens raping and killing children are the thugs. Same people like, oh, ICE agents are white supremacist Nazis, and then they're like gay Mexicans literally asking liberals if they can please go do their job because there is a child rapist. Those things are not irrelevant. They do matter.
What was that about? What? What was... Oh my gosh, this shit... Oh, this has to be... She has to be, like, rage baiting. She has to be rage baiting. She has to be rage baiting. Did you... Like, it's like... Dean says something, and then when she starts, she has this, like, ego trip for, like, 5 seconds. Talking some ramble. And then she tries to continue the conversation about something else. Like, did you... Oh my god. Bro.
If you are at the point where politics has made you so mentally ill that you are clearly a danger to yourself and others, probably like him and the other woman, as her whatever lesbian wife is telling her to go run over ICE agents, instead of being at home taking care of their children, then yeah, that actually does matter. Mental health matters in these situations, because a mentally healthy person would not be in that situation. They would know the danger. They would know that's not a smart thing to do. They probably would be at home with their family or at their job. And I'm like, those things do matter. A normal person does not put themselves in that situation. They did not just run up to them and shoot them. Obviously, we've both seen the videos. We clearly have different takes on the videos and takeaways from it. But in general, I'm like, that's what happens when you put yourself in very stupid, avoidable situations. And it's very sad. Happens all the time.
If anybody's mentally ill because of politics here, it's you. You're telling us that a man who lost his life was not a victim of murder, the officer was justified, and we're better off without him.
Sorry, Dean, I'm gonna pause this really quick. I want y'all to get... you know what? I'll put up a little Kahoot slide and some music and be like, which one do y'all think she's gonna do first? She's gonna ramble on about the first thing he said, which was, I think, but... Oh, what'd he say? I'm sorry, Dean, I'm gonna have to replay this. He said...
But in general, I'm like, that's what...
If anybody's mentally ill because of politics here, it's you.
Okay, she's gonna be like, first of all, I'm not mentally ill. She's gonna... I promise you, I haven't even watched this whole thing. And I already know that's the first thing she's gonna do, is negate that whole thing, because she doesn't want people to see her in that light. She wants to take control of that whole conversation. She's gonna be like, I'm not mentally ill. And you know that. And I know I'm not mentally ill because blah, 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 blah. She's going to go on a ramble. And then she's going to just talk about some random stuff. Oh my gosh. Okay.
You're telling us that a man who lost his life was not a victim of murder, the officer was justified and we're better off without him, not on the basis of any legitimate claim in conjunction to the legality of the situation. You admitted to not knowing what justifies an LEO to shoot and kill somebody, but because of baseless conjecture. Like, Emily, we're doing it again. You're just sitting here telling me, oh, he could have avoided the situation. Oh, liberal. Oh, ICE protests. Oh, they're like, none of that matters. Like, you have to be able to demonstrate an objectively reasonable threat that Alex Preddy was engaging in to make those officers legitimately fear that if they didn't shoot him, he would have killed them first, okay? Saying that he could have avoided the situation by staying home, it does not amount to an objectively reasonable threat upon the lives of the LEOs. That's just more victim-blaming rhetoric, like the other rhetoric we hear from a lot of people on the right, like telling a woman maybe she shouldn't have gone to that bar because at that bar she was date raped by a man. Once again, going back to that whole mentally ill because of politics thing, quite ironic that you're the one making that point.
If it was a Republican in the same position, I would have said the same thing. Like the same thing at January 6th. No one gave a shit that Ashley Babbitt got shot. They were probably happy she got shot the way liberals love to celebrate the deaths of all Republicans. It was the same exact thing. No one gave a shit when they shot her, an unarmed woman. But Democrats were perfect. She shouldn't have been there. She was breaking the law. And that's what you're telling me. I'm mentally ill because I don't give a shit because he was a loser and his life didn't really have much meaning, and it sure as doesn't matter to me. And I'm sorry, that's not the cute, like politically correct take, but that is the common sense take. Okay. Sorry, he's not a productive citizen. He's not curing cancer. He's not going to be the next Elon Musk. I don't care. I don't have to care about people I don't know. But this whole thing of like, oh, you're making it political. No, if my Republican friend was in that situation and brought a gun and was wrestling agents and got shot, I'd be like, you were a idiot.
You have a little time left, so I just got to ask you a quick question. So just to clarify, you think that a nurse at a veterans hospital who helped save the lives of those that were willing to lose their lives for us in war, protecting our Constitution, our inalienable natural-born rights, is a fucking loser doing nothing productive for society, right?
Yeah, just because you're a nurse does not mean you're a productive member of society, because that would mean that I trust okay.
Yeah, I couldn't have said...
Not just a nurse. If you're in a church, if you are in a community in some type of way, you're a productive member of society, okay? I want you to know that, okay? If you do, even if you go outside and you go skateboard, you talk to one person, you're a productive member of society. Every single choice that you make affects someone in some point in time. You are a productive member of society, and do not let these type of videos discourage you, because her saying that a nurse that saves people's lives on a daily, even if it's just you helping a senior citizen get clothed and get dressed. Oh my gosh.
I said it better myself. I think that you just took the mask off, and unfortunately I can't tell you why because the red light just went off.
This is like rage bait.
I kind of forgot how crazy your beliefs are, Emily.
They're literally, it's just what everyone who has common sense thinks, but they don't have the balls to say out loud. Because you have to do the politically correct bullshit of acting like we care.